Today we're going to make a modern tiki drink, Tony Rocky Horror. For this drink, you're going to need a tiki mug, or a chimney glass, a jigger, a fancy straw, a cocktail shaker, a citrus juicer, a fine mesh strainer, a cutting board and a small knife, a Lewis bag and an ice mallet, a microplane grater, and optionally, a dasher bottle. This drink uses Jamaican rum, Orgeat, Falernum, absinthe, freshly squeezed lime juice, nutmeg, and mint for garnish. This is a modern tiki drink, one that's elegant, relatively easy to make, and most importantly, delicious. The drink was created by 21st century bartending darling Sam Ross, who's best known as the creator of our beloved modern classic, the Penicillin. The name of the drink is an oblique reference to one of his favorite movies, Pulp Fiction. Tony Rocky Horror is a character who is often talked about, but never seen. He's the guy who was pushed out of a window, supposedly for giving Mrs. Mia Wallace a foot massage. In a sort of Rashomon effect, the validity of Tony Rocky Horror's backstory is questioned throughout the movie. But ultimately, it's there to serve as an illustration of the fury of Marcellus Wallace, and as a warning to Vincent to tread lightly around Big Man's wife. If Pulp Fiction and Tarantino's work in general is known for one thing, it's for being a stew of references and influences, most of which go over the heads of the average viewer. Tony's an interesting test case. His nickname's a reference to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which in itself is a patchwork of references to the musicals and monster movies of the 30s. And Tony's fate is a kind of meta-reference to The Tenant, in which a character plunged out a window, crashed through a glass awning, and developed a speech impediment. There are a couple different tiki touchstones in Pulp Fiction, from Big Kahuna Burger to Dick Dale to Tony's heritage. Wait a minute. That's better. Tony Rocky Horror is the nickname of Antoine Rockamora, and being half Samoan, his Polynesian roots give the drink a direct tiki connection. The drink was created in 2017 at Attaboy, a Lower East Side speakeasy co-owned by Sam Ross. It gained a little more prominence on social media when it was featured with Ross in a promo video for the Dorsey in Vegas. Also, as with the Oaxacan Dead, the drink was given a write-up by Frederick Yarm's blog, Cocktail Virgin. Like myself, at the time, all Yarm had to go off of was the partial recipe on the Dorsey video. And surprisingly enough, he and I jotted down the same guesses on the measurements. Later, I found the actual recipe on Ross's own cocktail app, Bartender's Choice, which listed a slightly different proportion for the Falernum, but everything else was the same. In this video, I made it with the Falernum measurements that Ross intended, but personally I prefer my original guess, where the two sweeteners are equal to the amount of citrus. It results in a drink that's a little drier. Most tiki fans, however, will probably like the Ross recipe better, as it's sweeter and more Falernum forward. So you're probably going to want to make that version first. This fun little mug, the Jules mug, comes from Geeky Tiki's, a mug manufacturer with a huge line of pop culture tiki mugs. And if you want to reenact the entire foot massage scene, you can get the Vincent mug as well. If you don't have a tiki mug, just serve it in a tall glass, like a zombie glass. Ross likes to make the drink with a 2-to-1 combo of Appleton and Dr. Bird. I made it like the Dorsey video, with the high ester hogo of Hamilton Jamaican Rum. It's kind of my go-to Jamaican rum, and it gives the drink a big, fruity flavor profile. But feel free to make it with your favorite Jamaican rum, or a tasty blend, or whatever else you have on hand. In terms of the Falernum, Ross recommends using a homemade version, like the Beach Bum Berry endorsed Falernum No. 9. It's going to be a lot funkier, spicier, and citrusy than Velvet Falernum. However, if all you have is Velvet, I won't tell if you won't. For the Orgeat, the 12-bottle bar homemade version is always the way to go. If you don't have it or can't make it for whatever reason, a store-bought version like L'Orgeat or Orgeat Works are good options. L'Orgeat is technically a liqueur, but it's just a long-lasting, shelf-stable Orgeat, which means you don't have to refrigerate it. But like the Falernum, Ross encourages you to use a homemade version. For the garnish, you want the smell of mint and nutmeg right on the nose as you go in for your first sip. And you definitely want to use fresh nutmeg. With its bright, spicy, almost stinging aroma, you'll be much happier that you put in the extra effort to use the real deal. The Tony Rocky Horror fires on all tropical drink cylinders. It's a funky, surf rock-fueled, half-Polynesian Tarantino-esque tiki drink. And like a lot of other creations by Sam Ross, It is a tasty beverage. Before I get started, I like to cut, squeeze, strain, and bottle my lime juice. That way it's easy to pour when it comes time to measure. Then prep your absinthe. Carefully pour your absinthe in a clean dasher bottle, plug in your top, and you're ready to go. If you don't have a dasher, put your thumb over the throat of the bottle and slowly release pressure until you get a couple drops of absinthe in your shaker. Next, beat up some ice. Add ice cubes to the Lewis bag and roll it up. If you don't have a Lewis bag, use a bar towel. Just fold it up so the ice can't escape. With the Lewis bag rolled, go to work on it with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch. Don't be afraid to get medieval on it. Then prep your mug. Whack the rim with a mint sprig to release some oils and help give it that great aroma. Fill your mug with crushed ice and set it aside. Next, measure 1.5 ounces of Jamaican rum. Add that to the shaker. Measure 1/2 ounce of Orgeat. Add that to the shaker. Measure 3/4 ounce of Falernum. Add that to the shaker. Measure 1 ounce of lime juice. Add that to the shaker. Then hit it with 2 dashes of absinthe. Add a little crushed ice and whip it to integrate and agitate the ingredients. We'll let the crushed ice in the mug do most of the chilling and diluting. Then pour the contents of your shaker unstrained over the ice in your mug. Work in your mint, grate a healthy dose of fresh nutmeg on top, and pop in your straw. And there you have it. Step aside, Butch. Tony Rocky Horror. Akole Maluna. You can support this channel by clicking on the Patreon link here. Check out more videos. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For links, more info, and the printed recipe, check out the description below.